Hey and welcome to MFFLtv. I'm your host Dylan, and today I got my guys Bobon and VC with me, and just gonna start a new mini series on my channel called Mavs Talk, where just sort of pick out a news report or a rumor and just sort of have a discussion. Want to see what you guys think about it. I'll put some of my opinions as well. Just in the off season, try to just get things going because we all want the season to start. But today's question is: do you want Ben Simmons on the Dallas Mavericks? Um, Look, initially, I'd probably say no. We all know about his free throw shooting, his 3 point, his perimeter shooting as a whole, and I think that is a definite weakness, especially in today's game, and even more so in the playoffs when teams, pick up the intensity on defense, tighten the paint. And we've seen his points per game, his free throw shooting dip in the playoffs as well, so that's always a big concern as well. Maybe a little bit biased, but he always does skip representing Australia in the Olympics and stuff, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. But I sort of want to get into this because I feel like Mavs are rumored with every available player, but there always is that lingering thing of should the Mavs go after him. Um, they don't really have the assets. We will get into that a bit later. But sort of just before I do that, I want to try and shine a bit of light on Ben Simmons. He's been getting a lot of slack recently, so let's at least just see the positives, and then I'll give my detailed opinion on whether I think he's worth it. But just starting out, last season, in the regular season at least, it did dip in the playoffs, but in the regular season, averaged 14.3 points a game, 7.2 rebounds, 6.9 assists. So on face value, pretty all around. He does fill the stat sheet pretty well. Just some accolades. He was, the 2018 Rookie of the Year. There was a bit of controversy behind that as well. He did sit out his whole first season. I don't know why the formatting changed, but he was a 2-time All-Defensive First Team, 3-time All-Star, and 1-time Third-Team All-NBA. So he's built quite a collection of achievements and rewards there. And, there's definitely good things about him. He's a phenomenal playmaker, very good at getting the rebounds and sort of starting his fast breaks, go on transition, and either, getting a layup or making the play for his teammate. For his skill set, he's very tall, very long, very athletic, and as well, based on his defensive achievements, you can already see, he's a fantastic defender, one of the best in the league, and those are the things going for him. In terms of her fit in Dallas, I can see him, turning into a very Draymond Green-esque player, setting screens with Luka. If Luka gets doubled, he can dip it into Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons can play 4-on-3, make the game simple. Then he can feed Hardaway Jr. or Bullock in the corner, or he can lob it to, let's say if we keep Porzingis, probably not if we were to get him, but can lob it to a Porzingis or a Moses Brown. And I think, that would be a pretty convenient situation for him. Another issue is how would we even get him? Yes, Dallas always in random reports, but do we really have the assets to get him? One trade that gets thrown around is sort of a straight up swap with Porzingis. Both players, their stock is really low at the moment. And, because of that, they do get tossed around in the trade rumors a lot. First of all, would Philadelphia accept this? I don't think so. We've heard about the crazy package they've wanted for Ben Simmons, including multiple first-round picks and a star in some sense. So, I don't think they would accept this straight up. Maybe if Dallas include a ridiculous amount of picks from now till 2035, maybe. But I don't see them accepting this. However, I don't even know if Dallas would really want this. Their starting five would end up looking something like Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr., Finney Smith, Ben Simmons, and maybe Moses Brown, Dwight Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein. We all know the centers we got. And I think losing Porzingis with this lineup, I think we lose out on a bit too much offense. You're really relying on Tim Hardaway Jr. becoming your second scorer night in, night out. And, Ben Simmons, he definitely has his offensive limitations in terms of scoring the ball. You saw in the playoffs, he dropped down to about 11 points a game. As well as that, you also do need to worry, late in games, especially in playoffs, they can intentionally foul, take him to the free throw line, and he shot 34% from the free throw line in the playoffs. So there's times where, he's unplayable, you can't even have him on the court. So I think giving up Porzingis, honestly, even though Philadelphia wouldn't accept it, as a Mavs fan, I don't think we should take this either. I think we'd be too thin. Yes, we'd improve defensively. Yes, we'd have that second playmaker. But offensively, do we have enough? We're really relying on Luka to carry even more so. Yes, he's probably good enough to get everyone else involved. But should we put that burden on him to really do that for an entire season and postseason? I feel like we're already doing that enough. And then getting rid of Porzingis for Simmons sort of just adds to that. Um, with Ben Simmons, I could see guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. stepping up offensively just because even more great looks. Jalen Brunson can sort of come in off the bench, not need to worry about playmaking. Ben Simmons can handle that, get him his shots. So there are pros. Personally, as I said, I wouldn't take this deal. I thought I'd just put up a second ridiculous trade scenario that Philadelphia probably wouldn't accept, but I'd be more inclined to look at. So we're gutting our roster pretty heavily at the moment, so this would rely on us also making other moves to sort of fill out our depth. Would Philadelphia accept a package of Brunson, Powell, Kleber, Finney-Smith, Josh Green, and Moses Brown? None of those guys are really game changers, but I feel like together, they are worth quite a bit. They're very valuable role players, and maybe Jalen Brunson can be that point guard that Philadelphia is looking for. I honestly feel like in the playoffs, as a point guard, he'd probably do a lot better than Ben Simmons. In terms of offense, everyone knows defensively Ben Simmons is one of the best in the league. However, in terms of scoring the ball, I think Brunson, is a much better scorer and could, do a job there. As well, they'd have Finney-Smith to pair with Thibault and just be a nightmare defensively as well for teams. I don't think Philly would accept this, but I think in terms of the Mavs, they'd field a really good starting five. You'd have Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bullock, Ben Simmons, and Porzingis. I think this would be really good for the Mavs. If Philadelphia somehow would take it, I think I would too, because it's easier to find role players, I think, than that third star. And sort of what I was saying before, Luka, Ben Simmons pick and roll. If Luka gets doubled, he could pop it off to Ben Simmons, and then he can easily play 4-on-3. He'd be lobbing to Porzingis all day, or alternatively finding Porzingis for threes, Bullock for open threes, Tim Hardaway Jr. for open threes, or he can just go up for layups. I think this would be really dangerous offensively and really helps us out defensively as well. Ben Simmons can pretty much guard 1 through 5 depending on the team. But overall, I am still very iffy about Ben Simmons. I'm not really sure if he's the player Dallas needs. As well, I can't see Philadelphia and Dallas coming to an agreement based on the packages. If there's a way we can keep Porzingis and add Ben Simmons, obviously, he's an all-star, so I'd take him. Would he be the perfect fit? I'm not sure, but I think there's a way Jason Kidd could make it work. But look, the whole point of this series is I do want to hear your guys' opinions. Would you take Ben Simmons? Would you not? If you would take him, what would you be willing to give up? I always like hearing your guys' comments in the comment section below, so make sure to let me know. Also, like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I'll see you in that next video.